grandmother and her friend, they went to what was a pilot camp and social camp in Bahsahwahbee. And everybody was in the fall mood. It was time to gather and time to catch fish and time to prepare for winter. And the men decided they'd go out hunting. While they were away, it was terrible. The vigilantes came in and just slaughtered everybody in camp, and they were vicious. The people were killed in some really nasty ways. It was just an ugly, ugly mess. Well, when Grandma and her friend heard a little noise, so they hid in this ditch and looked over the edge of the ditch, and they saw all the slaying happening, so they just hid. And lucky for them, they weren't found. When everything subsided, and I guess when they finally got their senses back together, and they decided to just walk somewhere, so they walked south for many, many miles until they came to a ranch. Unfortunately for them, the rancher was happy to see them, took care of them, and they even went to the extent of raising my grandmother to maturity. It's hard.
Swamp Cedars is home to the largest Indian massacre since 1776. Our estimate is 550 to 700 people that were killed during the first massacre. There was a second massacre and then a third massacre, one after the other, after the other.
These are sacred lands because of all the massacres that happened here, and we believe that the spirits of our ancestors are living in these trees.
We come here to visit our relatives here. Well, they're here in spirit, and they once roamed this place. They gave their ultimate price for us to enjoy our freedom, enjoy our liberty, enjoy whatever Mother Earth, Grandfather Sun, had to offer for us.
When we look at these trees, they're not just a collection of trees. They have 10,000 years of people coming here and holding ceremonies and praying and living with their families and celebrating as families.
You could say, well, there are other trees like this somewhere else in the world, but the truth is there isn't. And when they're gone, they're gone.
Who the tribes are as Indigenous people is tied to this place, and especially to these trees and the water, the sacred water that sustains them. Tribal members use this water for healing. They use it as a special medicine in their ceremonies.
It just doesn't make sense to go out and trash the natural world, knowing that humanity is a part of the natural world. We don't own it. We're a part of it. I mean, if you look around, everything that we see here shares some DNA with us. We're all relatives.
It seems like that money has become our God, and if we continue with that, I don't think there's a chance for people or water, because water becomes a commodity under that situation.
But removing this water from here would be devastating to our way of life. Do we really want to do this.
This all used to be a bit of a marsh in this whole area, and there were birds and animals and some beautiful plants in here that we use for medicinal purposes. Now it's just part of the Great Basin, but it's still sacred.
If it were to be destroyed, it would be my own personal experience of an extinction event.
Swamp Cedars has always been a sacred site. And because it was a gathering area and because it was a sacred area where they held ceremonies in large groups, they were targeted and massacred. When people are murdered in mass, people should look at that and say, you know, that's not just a holy site, that's a mass graveyard.
Our spirits of all those people that were killed in those many massacres in Spring Valley are living in those trees. That's why we go out to visit them.
They wake up God. They can't. Oh, why when they do it there? We just the more is again. Oh, boy. Then we swap it as we are the ones why they were there even up God. We go Sunday again. He quite cross the lane, because Sunday again. Oh, corner to keep more beer with. Boy, kung buhay na ras. Masap. Oo, kada mo nang bigot to. Sundayan. Kita mo. Tanda mo nursing ano. Kiko mo teras.
Protecting sacred sites like this isn't really in the federal and state protection system.
Earth and Mother Nature needs all the protection it can get. We think we're taking care of it, but I can see this place dissipating in the few years that I've been around. That's only 80-something. Making this place known to the public, and so they can help protect it, I think will help protect the water. Other than that, I don't have much else to say about it, except I'm trying.
The best thing to happen to Swamp Cedars in terms of like real secure protection would be a national monument designation. Those would be the next steps of trying to protect Swamp Cedars in terms of designations.
Then you may call upon you again one of these days. When you come back over here, you take care of our relatives here. Take care of that.